Well, a good Friday evening to you. It's Friday. That means our Web Extra, a little weather extra look into the long-range forecast. And last week I talked about how I thought the Arctic air was shut off, the really true hard Arctic air. And we are going to see temperatures, still chilly at times. And we're in the middle of a stretch of chilly weather, but the core of the Arctic air is still shut off, and the warm-up that's coming our way is quite impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the model forecasts. And that little clipper system that brought us a coating to an inch or so during the early morning hours on Friday, well, look at the way it blew up off the coastline. Good thing it is out over the ocean. A lot of wind, strong system. What I'm watching is this next little clipper system right over here. And this is kind of the end kicker in this stretch of chilly weather. You see here by Saturday night, it is just to our south. I do think, once again, it gives us a little scattering of some flurries, light snow, a coating in some spots, but nothing too major. And it is out of here by Sunday, and high pressure moves in and sinks to our south. And I want you to look at the strength of that high and the position of that high pressure system. I want you to follow the isobars, the pressure lines, and see where they're coming from. We have some maritime tropical air. This is an impressive weather pattern that's coming our way. That was Monday. Here we go. Tuesday night, still got that flow. So it is going to get warm. Nights are going to get warm. This is a very impressive weather pattern. And let's go ahead and take a look at the upper airflow. All right. This is later on tonight. That little shortwave moves on through. Shortwave trough there. What I want you to key on, I always talk about west. Look at this trough moving it on to the west coast. It's going to bring some much needed rainfall for the west coast states. But as that moves on in, trough moves into the west. There you go, moves in more. Here comes the ridge in the east. This is Sunday evening. Heights start to build up. Ridge starts building in the east. And what a monster ridge this is. All right, we have this closed low. Unbelievable. And the mountains of Mexico are probably going to get some snow. But I want you to see how these height lines come out. There's probably some Pacific tropical air that's moving on into the air mass being fed into the region. And even in the northwestern United States, we have a lot of Pacific air. So there's pretty much shut off from the Arctic, even up here. Really no Arctic flow whatsoever to tap. And with the flow from the south, it is going to get warm. So this is Tuesday evening. This is Thursday evening. That upper level low just kind of locks off over there. It's an interesting situation. And we're still looking at the GFS. Still have a trough off the west coast. Still have ridging out in the east. But it's something we're going to be keeping an eye on. There may be a high to the north that sneaks on down as some troubles down to the south. So I don't think we're going to get warm and stay warm permanently. That just doesn't happen in central Pennsylvania. But definitely a mild weather pattern for a while. Let's go ahead and flip on over to European. There's Sunday night. There's the ridge building on into the eastern United States. There's that trough out to the west. Look at that ridge. Same thing. European, pretty much the same thing for Tuesday night. Big ridge over the eastern United States. And then as we head on into looking at the temperature anomalies. Now, this is Monday. And I want you to see the scale. In some of these areas in the middle of the United States, over 30 degrees above average. Maybe a little overdone, but I could see temperatures approaching 60 in some spots on Monday. But that's not the warm day. Look what happens on Tuesday afternoon, the core of that warmth. We stay warm Wednesday, but then Thursday, what I think is happening is we have a front that kind of sinks on down. I know I've got my colors off a little bit here, but I just want to, there's probably going to be a front that sinks down. There's probably going to be a high pressure system up to the north, and what I think is that's going to suppress a little cooler air. But remember, this is still a good bit above average. See some warming out this way. That kind of tells me maybe down the road, and I actually think down the road we are going to be warming up a good bit. Let's go ahead and take a look. I went a little too far on my maps there, so let me back on up again. So we'll watch this warming over here. I do think later on in the month, we are set for some cooler air to move back into the region for the very end of March. But next week is not March warmth. It's going to be the kind of warmth that you would get in late April or May. So enjoy it while it lasts. If you're a skier like myself, get out there over the weekend. Next weekend, most of the resorts are going to still scrimp to be open, but this may be a crucial blow, especially if we get the rain. I think that may be coming our way. Have yourself a great weekend. Tune in tonight on WTAJ News at 11 for more of your short-range forecast.